Hey everyone, today I'm going to go over the keys to success. So if you want to accomplish any goal, these really are the three top things that I would consider for being successful, whether it's something for work, something for learning a new skill, a personal hobby, fitness goals, and so forth. It really breaks down to three simple things, at least for me. The first and most important is going to be breaking down any barriers, making it as easy as possible for you to accomplish your goal. And what I mean by that is, so that sounds pretty simple, but think of it this way. So, one thing that you can do is, let's say if you want to lose weight, is you can start looking up and like the most effective meals. You can start looking into buying the highest quality organic meals, cooking everything yourself, making everything from scratch, and kind of really getting down into the minutia. And a lot of people tend to do that when they go on a path towards a goal instead of kind of trying to reach something that's easily attainable. They kind of try to optimize early on. And so you might see, like, let's say someone's starting a YouTube channel, they're looking for the best camera, the best microphone, they're looking for the best equipment that they can start paying for. When in reality, the most important thing is how can I get to my goal the quickest and simplest way possible? And that goes for not just making YouTube channel, but also going back to the exercise. One thing that I like to do is in a video I talked about how I have these PowerBlock weights, and what I like to do is, since I work at a desk, I'll have those right next to me so that every now and then I'll take a minute break and I'll start lifting weights. And it could be curls, it could be so things for my arms, or it could be kind of free weights, bench press. So I have a little bench also next to my desk, so I'm able to do some of that. I'll be able to do push-ups near me, so I have carpet, and that way it makes it easier to do push-ups, squats as well, and it makes it really lower the barrier of energy that I lower the barrier that I need to get across to be able to reach my goal. So, for example, it used to be that I didn't really feel comfortable exercising at home, or I didn't really get in the right mindset of exercising at home just because I felt like I needed to do it at the gym. And when I was at the gym, I felt fully motivated and I would be able to do a full workout, running and weights. The problem is there's a lot more of a barrier there. And so you can see the time it takes to get dressed, to go to the gym, and it would take me around 20 to 30 minutes. Once I'm there, doing my workout, which would be 30 minutes to an hour. Afterwards, driving back another 20 to 30 minutes, showering, and so forth. And so you can see how all of that time really adds up. That's a lot of energy. And it's something that realistically a lot of people can do, but if we're trying to get to our goal, we're not trying to really use as much willpower as we want or as we can. It's not a test of willpower. It's really a test of do I want to make this hard for myself, or do I want to reach my goal? And once I answer that question of, yeah, I want to reach my goal, I don't necessarily want it to be hard. I want it to be as straightforward as possible to reach it. Then that means it's smart to optimize for how can I lessen those barriers. So another thing that I do is I go to a gym that's right next to me. It's only 2 minutes away by car, and so that makes it really easy to get there now because I live in a different place. So going to the gym really easy, and getting back as well. I also changed my workouts so they're a little bit less intense. They're only about 30 minutes now, which makes it much easier compared to the hour workouts because instead of kind of really straining myself and trying to get as every last bit of workout I can in that session, what I can do instead is I can more routinely work out for 30 minutes at a time. Additionally, while I'm working, I can step away from my desk for about a minute, do a little bit of exercise, and then continue working. And every so often, every 30 minutes, every hour, I can go ahead and step away and do a little bit more. And then over time, that ends up being a lot more consistent, and I'm getting closer to my goal. So, number one is the most important, which is lowering barriers however you can. And just as a reminder, this can apply for food as well. Don't go out there and try to buy or try to make everything from scratch. You can buy pre-built or kind of pre-made recipes. So, for example, I went to Costco and I bought some pesto sauce. My sister likes to make it from scratch, getting some basil and cheese and olive oil and so forth, and she'll kind of blend it herself, which is really good eating it fresh. But realistically, if I'm on a time crunch, it's okay if I buy it in advance and then I can put it into my sandwich. It tastes really good. It's still pretty healthy. It's high in calories, but this is to say that if you ever need to have things that are pre-made, that's okay. It lessens that barrier and it gets you closer to your goals. Um, so with that said, that's the first key. The second key is you really want to be able to do something that you enjoy in some way. So that might be difficult depending on what goal you're trying to reach. But for example, let's say you're trying to lose weight. You're trying to do it through exercise and a combination of diet. The exercise, I know some people who hate running. I'm a fan of running. I think it's pretty peaceful. But I know some people who really, really hate running. And so you don't necessarily need to run. I know those same people really like other forms of activity, like playing tennis or pickleball, and so that's something that you can do to get your physical activity in, right? Get some cardio in, and you don't necessarily have to do something that you hate, because if you do try to stick to something that you hate, it's more likely that you're going to opt out of it, right? You're not going to be as consistent, and so that's something you want to avoid. So try not to pick something that you hate, or try to see if there's a way that you can frame it in a way that's a little bit more fun. Maybe you hate running long distance, but you like sprints. You can, instead of running long distance, you can do sets of sprints, and that's probably something that you'll find more enjoyable and also still great workout. Um, Another thing you can do instead, let's say for example you hate cardio, but you like lifting weights, you can do a lot more weightlifting, a lot more volume, and then that also counts as somewhat of a form of cardio. You can do it like that. I know other people who like rowing, but try to find some way to enjoy what you do. Partly because it's going to help you stick to your goal, and that's what's important. And then additionally, it's because we only have so much time in this life, and so you don't want to spend your time doing something that you hate. It doesn't really make sense. Um, so try to find something enjoyable. The last thing that I want to say is the third key is going to be consistency. Consistency is really important because it helps build. It helps build. I don't know how to phrase it, and haven't looked into it, but kind of habits, I should say, or uh, mental habits that your body is more inclined to do. Say, for example, you get up every morning and you go for a jog. Initially, you're probably going to feel awful. Or if you get up early for work, initially you're probably going to feel awful, but then afterwards your body just gets used to it. And then after a while, you kind of get up on your own. And that's the same thing with, let's say, for example, brushing your teeth or washing or taking a shower every day. It's just habits that we build up and then they become second nature. That consistency makes it so that you have to use less willpower to accomplish your goal, and it's just more of your body naturally trying to uh, stick to its habits it's that you've developed, and that makes it much easier to reach your goal. So um, as a reminder, these three things are: you want to lower the barriers, try to make things easy for yourself to reach your goal. Don't try to complicate it and go into the minutia. Just really look into, okay, what are some ways that I can get there? What are some ways that I can really make it easier for myself? Let's say, for example, like picking an outfit in advance for the gym, or having a schedule so you know if you're going to go before work, after work, you know how you're going to prep your meals and so forth. Or maybe you're going to go out to buy certain meals every so often to make it easier so you don't have to cook as often. Consistency. Number two is try to enjoy what you do. Maybe you like cooking, so you're trying to lose weight and you kind of like trying different recipes. That might be something that you can do. Find recipes that are both nutritious and less calorie dense, or try to find exercises that best suit you. Try to learn skills in a way that makes it that gamifies it, maybe instead of it feeling like a chore to learn, it feels like something that's fun. And the third thing is consistency. So try to stick to it as often as you can. Um, the biggest the biggest worry that I think I have is if you quit too early. I think that also develops a habit of quitting potentially. So if it's something that you absolutely hate and there's no reason to do it, then okay, it makes sense to quit. But if generally, I don't recommend quitting activities just because I think it instills kind of um, something in the mind, at least for me, that if I quit, it makes me think that quitting other things is okay. And so rather than developing that habit, I like to stick to it and I like to go through and accomplish a bit of it. And so I'm able to accomplish a small bit of that goal, and I can tell myself, okay, do I want to keep going, or is this something worth pursuing? And if it is, then I'll be consistent with it. And then that helps make it second nature. So, for example, right now, I went to go run right after work, and it was really easy. So, right after work, went to the gym, was able to jog for about 3 miles, and then came back. It was only 2 minutes there, 20, 22-minute jog, 2 minutes back, and so it made it really, really easy. And so I'm trying to practice what I preach. And let me know if this helps you at all. What you think the most important things are to accomplishing goals and making kind of uh, making it easy to reach success. Thank you so much for listening.